La Flor Dominicana is a big stick. That's an understatement. What La Flor Dominicana makes are just big, big cigars. Punch you in the face, hit you again and again. And that's not a bad thing, because they also make beautiful cigars. I think most people, when they think of La Flor Dominicana, they're talking about the Andalusian Bull, right? And that whole world. Some people talk about the Chisel, which I will say right now, Fingers Malloy, is the worst designed cigar in the history of mankind. But the tobacco itself is wonderful.
What's it shaped like?
It's shaped like if you were trying to smoke a clarinet. Oh, for me, that mouthfeel is the worst. But the double Ligero, the 654, you want big? We got you covered. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy, the La Flor Dominicana double Ligero. This is a Maduro. It's the 654, which means it's 6 inches long.
Tee.
Always makes Fingers Malloy laugh. And the ring gauge is a 54, the diameter of the cigar, or how thick it is around.
Tee.
Again, with the laughter, feel that in your hand, Fingers Malloy. You could break car windows with that cigar.
It is beefy. I mean, it's got some heft to it, and it's deceiving, because I didn't think it was going to be like this when I grabbed it, but man, does it ever feel good in the hand.
This is both a cigar and a self-defense weapon. It really is. I mean, it is a absolutely wonderful feel. And so this is an Ecuadorian Habano Maduro. And you take a look at that wrapper, the oil almost drips off the thing, at least as we have it. And this wrapper is not, it's not smooth.
No.
It's got the oil on it, so it does move, but you could feel the bumps, you could feel the ripples, you could feel the leaf, and every part of it says, yeah, this is going to punch me.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to be punched.
It's a beautiful dark brown wrapper. Of course, it's got that classic La Flor band on it. We just lit this, Tony, so obviously we haven't gotten much into the first third, but right on the light for me, I got some pepper and a little bit of a creamy sweetness, but nothing, as far as the pepper goes, it's not a pepper bomb. It's not punching you in the face. I'm interested to see where this goes.
This is going to go spicy. This spice is going to intensify, as opposed to, and I think it was a nice way you just described that, as opposed to hitting you in the face and then it kind of mellowing and you getting used to it. Mm-hmm. This is going to build. That is the profile of this cigar. You're talking about, you pronounce it Ligero, pronounce it Ligero. I believe it is pronounced Ligero, which is light in Spanish. So this is the top of the tobacco plant, and that's where you're getting so much of this tobacco from. That's where the punch is taking place, and La Flor does. La Flor makes big cigars. The Lennox, big cigar. The Solis, which is the last La Flor Dominicana that we actually have reviewed, not as big as other ones, but still pretty big. I don't mean to dismiss the Chisel. It's just that the Chisel,
but you kind of did.
Oh, every day. I meant to do it. The way the cap end. Remember, you smoke from the cap. You do the draw from the cap and you cut there. You light from the foot end, and that's where you're toasting the cigar and then lighting the cigar. The cap end comes to not to a point like a torpedo. It comes to basically like a wood chisel is the best way to describe it. And as a mouthfeel, it's the most horrific thing I've ever experienced. And I once ate the stuff that they feed to prisoners, that whole Nutriloaf.
Oh,
it's just a terrible, terrible mouthfeel. If you want to smoke it, it's actually a wonderful blend of tobacco. So you got to figure out where you're going to cut it along that chisel part in order to make it work. And that's just more math that I'm willing to do.
That's where I was going. I played alto sax, and it felt like putting a saxophone mouthpiece in my mouth. You mentioned the clarinet earlier, but when you see that cap, you stare at it, you think, where should I cut this? Because how often do you run into something like that?
But people who love the chisel. By the way, I started on clarinet, then bass clarinet, then a tenor saxophone, then baritone saxophone.
Oh, look at you.
Daddy could play.
Look at you.
Daddy could. I could have been with Big Bad Voodoo Daddy.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll tell you right now, with the alto sax, if you had one right here, I could play Brass Monkey.
No, you couldn't.
That funky monkey.
You definitely could not.
Absolutely good.
So this cigar, you want to break into thirds, just like we do with everything. Get your notebook out. What did you eat today? What did you drink today? The weather finally warming up a little bit in Indianapolis. We had another cold hit, had some snow, and then things have started to warm up again. And you want to write down the flavors that you're getting. You just break it up into your mind's eye. First third, second third, final third. Write those down. When you smoke the cigar 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 2 months from now, whatever it is, you do the same thing, and you go back and you compare the notes. And there you get the through line, the idea of what you're really getting out of this cigar. I do not reach for La Flor on the regular. And I could say that in the totality of my humidor, and even the new one, the 1,700 count humidor,
Lord.
which is about a month away from being fully set up, there isn't much La Flor in my humidor, if any at all. It is not a stick that I go for, I gravitate to. Now, this is very important to note, everybody. Who gives a crap what I gravitate to? That's the whole point. It isn't in the main. It is not where I live and breathe, and they make some lovely, wonderful stuff. It's just not where I reach. That's okay. It's totally fine if it's where you reach.
Why do you think that is? What is it about La Flor that makes you say to yourself, you know what? There are other sticks out there I'd rather have.
Coffees, chocolates, nut, cream. These are places that I generally tend to. And I like a medium plus. And in this, in La Flor, there's full, and then there's full, and then there's this. It's just more than I want. And so what I find is that for my palate, I can't appreciate what it is in the main.
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk about this, the double Ligero, this Maduro, this is an absolutely, by every stretch, no one's going to turn it down. They're going to say, okay, let's bring it on. This is a cigar that works in Fingers Malloy. Is it in your humidor at about $10 a stick?
Oh, stop it. $10 a stick.
10, $11. That's where we're at.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, am I going to buy a box of them? I don't know. But I would definitely have a couple of these in my humidor. I mean, it's getting harder and harder to find quality sticks under $10.
Oh, yeah. That's absolutely true. It is hard to find quality sticks of almost anything under $10. It was interesting to hear last week, Eric Espinoza, Espinoza Cigars, who makes the knuckle sandwich. Of course, if you missed our interview with Food Network star Guy Fieri, we have that over at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. But that $13, $14 has become the new standard for pricing. So you have been dead on this subject. This is a cigar, and it's not in every cigar shop, but this is if you like, a big cigar that actually brings more than just power. It does bring a couple other subtle flavors. I shouldn't say no to that. This is a place to go. This is the Flor Dominicana. This is the double Ligero Maduro 6x54. Why, Fingers Malloy?
Why what?
Why?
I don't understand the question.
Answer the question that has been plaguing man since you sat down. Why did you bring me a bottle of Coca-Cola Spiced?
Why? Because it's new.
You're the worst kind of person. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That is Fingers Malloy. Our job here is to try the new things on the market so you don't have to waste your time, money, or taste buds. We do it for you, Eat, Drink, Smoke Nation. And this, Fingers, Coca-Cola Spiced. Everyone just go get yourself a bucket. You got to have a bucket nearby. I'll wait. You know, sing us a little show tune there, Fingers.
Well, it's spiced. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I really, really, really want a Zigga Zigga.
So close. So close. How did Baby Spice beat you out?
I don't know. I was up for posh.
This Coca-Cola Spiced is a raspberry spiced Coke and other natural flavors. You are a jerk face.
It combines the classic Coca-Cola flavor with refreshing raspberry.
You're the worst. You're doing it first.
I'm doing it first. Okay.
We're reviewing this. When did this come out on the market?
Earlier this week on Monday. So we are going to try the Coca-Cola Spiced, which
don't let it spill on your computer.
Right, Tony,
or on the equipment.
Tony can
or on me.
Say what he wants to, but
or on anything that might burn.
He told me to go pick this up. We're going to find out if this is posh or if it's scary.
Which spice it is? Oh, what is the nose? Do you get that raspberry zing?
Raspberry, Coca-Cola, Quaalude. So I'm pouring
If
it.
that's the case, fill me up. Who's kidding who?
So I'm pouring mine, and I'm handing
Coca-Cola
this 20-ounce bottle. I did not buy
Spiced.
a 12-pack. It was difficult to find.
You're doing it first, Fingers Malloy.
I'm going in, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. I've been ready for this all my life.
I wasn't even going to do that. He's taking the sip. Oh, he's taking a big sip of the Coca-Cola Spiced. Oh, look who regrets it already. Look who already has realized that maybe they made a mistake with their life. Don't take another sip like you're somebody. Don't take another sip like it's all just okay.
Here's what's strange about this.
What is strange about this?
It's not bad. First of all, I feel my blood sugar spiked about 50 points by taking a sip of that. It tastes like Coca-Cola. And you know those pop ice icicle or popsicles?
Like the ices?
Yeah, the ices where you cut the plastic on top. You throw them in the freezer.
Right.
Yeah. The blue raspberry. That's what it tastes like. So I'm very interested to hear what you have to say about it, because I'm sure you're going to be completely fair and haven't poo-pooed the whole idea of this from the very beginning.
I'm seriously considering quitting the show. That's where I'm at.
Oh.
Right there. All right, so now I have to do this. I have to I'm putting on my glasses just so nothing splashes in my eye. I don't want to lose my sight.
By the way, I found out about this from thehill.com, where I go for all of my breaking soda news.
This has got carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, caramel color, phosphoric acid, natural flavors, caffeine, and the caffeine content is 54 milligrams per 20 fluid ounces, 250 calories per bottle, 67 carbs because of sugar.
Yeah, I believe they have a diet version of that. I'm not positive. Also,
thank goodness.
Space age polymers.
I'm going in.
Okay.
The Coca-Cola Spiced.
He's going in.
Oh, God. Oh, that does not smell good at all.
Oh, stop it.
Have you ever had cough syrup? and then spit it out and then
it does.
And then realize you still have to drink it?
It does not taste like Robitussin Coke.
Yeah. It smells like it. Yes, it does. That smells terrible.
Oh, this is not fair.
That smells terrible.
It smells like Yankee Candle.
If they made a flavor that was medicinal raspberry. Here I go. I'm going in.
All right, he's going in, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing what we like to call the Memphis Fudge. See, he loves it. All it needs is an umbrella in it, and it would make a perfect tropical drink.
Excuse.
He's going in. This is unfair. This is unfair to the fine people like Coca-Cola. Some people have said this blue raspberry additive is the best thing that happened to Coca-Cola since they had cocaine in it. I'm not one of those people.
That's god awful. That is terrible, Fingers. That is holy crap. Is that really, 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 really bad?
Really?
Oh, it's garbage and you know it.
I wouldn't call it garbage. Now, here's my question for you, because
I'd rather go on a date with Lorena Bobbitt. That is, that's right.
Is she available?
Lorena Bobbitt? Maybe. Maybe.
So we've made so far Quaaludes, cocaine, and Lorena Bobbitt references in this segment.
It's 1993, everybody. We've gone back in time.
Oh.
Yeah, it's garbage. Garbage. There are so many other words I would utilize, but it's radio.
Let me pose this question to you.
What focus group decided to do this, and how do we hurt that focus group? Great question. I don't know, but I'm going to go get myself a bat.
They are coming out. I don't have the name of the flavor in front of me. They're coming out with a new flavor that's only going to be temporary. This is a permanent flavor, from what I understand. It may be a banana Coke.
So does that mean they're trying to go for like a Sunday kind of feel, like a float?
I don't know, but I will ask you this because I still have some of this in my refrigerator, and Easter's right around the corner. Is this worse than the Peeps Pepsi?
Yes. Oh, definitively.
Wow.
This is worse. I would rather. You hear that, Coke? Pepsi better. Peeps Pepsi better. Did you just take another sip?
I sure did.
Better than this Coca-Cola
This
Spiced.
may be my new drink.
No, it's not. You're just, look at you. You're in pain.
Oh, it's not.
Stop it.
It's not that bad.
You don't have to prove anything.
I know I don't. I'm saying it's not that bad.
It's worse than bad. Oh my God. I want to know who came up with the idea. And then I want to know who they're dating on the executive team. Whose brother-in-law said, you know, it'd be really bitching, man, it'd be raspberry Coke. Maybe you can get me a job.
Who would think that raspberry and cola would go good together?
I like raspberries.
Okay,
Raspberries
but
are delicious with ice cream.
Yeah, with cola?
No, not with cola. Also, who says cola?
Coke? Coca-Cola.
Yeah, you just call it Coke. No one calls it cola.
Well, Fuda Fafa.
What?
Exactly.
All this talk about gin. Mm-hmm. So much gin talk. We're actually going to drink some gin. It's a first. It's not a first. It's not the first time we've done gin on Eat, Drink, Smoke.
Yeah,
is
it
it?
is.
Well, I don't think it is.
I can't remember some of the Kentucky Derby drinks. Maybe there was some gin in one of them.
There wasn't.
No?
Oh, there could have been.
Some lemonade, gin and lemonade.
But this one's going to be the best one. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That right there is Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. We got so wrapped up in the conversation earlier, we forgot to get to news of the week.
Tony, as you know,
yes,
late night television has gone downhill a little bit, especially when it comes to the ratings. All the late night hosts would kill to have Johnny Carson's ratings.
Is that right?
Johnny Carson's ratings?
Yeah, that's true. But then again, he was the only game in town.
That's true. Look at you being fair and balanced. Well, Tony, there's news. Jimmy Kimmel did an interview with the Los Angeles Times, and he dropped this little nugget. He said, I think this is my final contract. Tony, Jimmy Kimmel may be walking away from Late Night with Jimmy Kimmel, or whatever the name of the show is. Will the world be laughing a little bit less with Jimmy Kimmel off television?
I'm starting to think, and I look, don't quote me here, but you're being a bit sarcastic.
How dare you, sir?
That's the feel that I get, that you, Fingers Horatio Malloy, are being just a wee bit sarcastic.
I was being as genuine as as a raspberry Coke.
Can I ask you the last time you watched a late night talk show?
I have, like many Americans, watched clips on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sitting through an entire late night episode, probably the last Late Show with David Letterman is the last time I sat and watched a late night talk show from beginning to end, because I was a huge, especially, my goodness, Late Night with David Letterman on NBC was genius. Late Show with David Letterman was okay. But the stuff that it came up today, a mutual friend of ours tweeted about her love for the movie The Burbs, and Brother Theodore was on The Burbs. And you kids under the age of 60, make sure to ask Jeeves, Brother Theodore, comic genius. the kind of stuff that would air on late night with David Letterman. But no, Late Show with David Letterman is the last time I've watched a late night show from beginning to end. How about you?
I think that's accurate. Late night used to have a tremendous level of importance in American society, and today's late night hosts are only interested in speaking to half the country. Whatever your politics are, that's just reality. They only want to talk to half the country. I don't find that interesting. I don't find that enjoyable. I don't find that smart. I don't find it decent or respectful. And so Kimmel made a boatload of cash from a guy with girls jumping on trampolines and putting himself in blackface to making boatloads of cash. Okay, it's his last contract.
What?
My life does not change. I was more emotional when Bryant Gumbel left the Today Show than I am about the idea of Kimmel leaving late night. He won't be missed. A lot of people will talk about the career and, oh, he made me laugh. But that following Monday, they won't know that he's not there. There's no resonating there.
Yeah. Here's the other thing about that whole genre, because there was talk at one point that Saturday Night Live, when Lorne Michaels decides to retire, may go away. There has been talk that some of these late night shows, especially the ones that follow the 11:30 show, that the 12:30 shows, they may slowly disappear too, because the ratings don't justify it. The thing that really seems to be pumping life into these shows is their digital footprint stuff, the YouTube clips. It'll be interesting to see, 10, 15 years from now, if these shows will even exist. Or are we going to be seeing reruns of Cheers at 11:30 at night?
Well, I think the question is where is an audience, and what is it that they're interested in? The Super Bowl this year, which I didn't even watch overtime. Like I went to bed.
Really?
Yeah, I went to bed. I was done. And I get that I'm in a minority there. 125 million watched the Super Bowl on CBS and then its related platforms, the vast majority on broadcast. You cannot think of anything in America over the past decade that has brought Americans together to that degree. Nothing. This is a bifurcated society. Okay, it is what it is, and I'm not quite sure how to bring it all back. The only time more Americans have gotten together to do something is to listen to this show, Eat, Drink, Smoke, eatdrinksmokeshow.com.
So true. But let's face it, a lot of that had to do with the fact that Taylor Swift was at the Super Bowl.
Maybe that is true. I don't know. The point I'm making is that whether the late night shows go away doesn't matter, doesn't move anything. I think maybe the question to ask is, why does the late night show still exist? I have, as I've watched this, and you and I are both late night, we dreamt of doing late night. We wanted to create things that would engage in that world. But you take a look at how late night is this wholly political one-sided beast. And the answer, I believe, is within that the late night show acts as, I don't know if it'd be the ego or the id for the network. That what the late night show does is it's this signal to all the executives, friends and pals and associates that, yeah, we know what we might do with news. We know we might do with programming. We know we have to be down the middle on this, ostensibly down the middle on this or that. But here, this is what we really feel. And that in some way, it is for the executives a catharsis and an outlet to show others, don't worry, we're on the same team. That's the only take. The only thing I can come to after watching all of this is that that's the only purpose that can exist.
Listen, I'm not going to get into the politics of all of this, but I saw a clip from the Late Show with Stephen Colbert the other night where he was ranting about, and I don't remember what the topic was, but it was highly partisan. And the anger in his face and the emotion that he was clearly conveying during this monologue, I couldn't help but sit back in my chair, and I thought to myself, this is comedy?
No.
I thought this was supposed to be funny, and it's not anymore. It's just not. It feels kind of partisan hackery.
I think that the stand-up comic, I think very often when they're doing a routine, if we laugh, we laugh, but for them, it is the therapy, right? They're engaging in therapy. I always thought that the late night host's job was to provide the therapy to us.
Yeah.
To give us the break, to give us the moment of relax, to point out the foibles in the leadership or in the culture and the what have you, and say, this doesn't work, that doesn't work, isn't this ridiculous, isn't this silly, all of those kinds of things. Like that's their job. And they have failed at that task. They're the ones who are in this therapy session, and somehow there's an audience that's really, really willing to hold their hand through it.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is, and you see this in journalism as well, it's, okay, I'm supposed to do this part of the job, which in the case of late night is entertain, but also I have a platform. And that's where you start losing the comedy, starting to think that you have a platform that you need to profess your views to the American people about, and it's not good. It's not entertainment.
It certainly isn't daring or bold. That much is true. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke. The growth of Eat, Drink, Smoke has been sensational, and things are really starting to hit. We're reaching stations all across the country, like WMBD in Peoria, and thrilled to be there. And I was on the air, Fingers Malloy, with Mike and Sabrina, talking about the show. God, I hope I got their names right. I think I did. And they were talking about how they really love bourbon and they really love tequila. So in their honor and in the honor of WMBD in Peoria, we're going to drink gin. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that right there is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. We cannot remember the last time we did gin on this show. Of course, gin is known for that juniper berry, right? And as Fingers Malloy calls it,
Pine Sol.
Pine Sol. But you've got juniper berries, and then you've got this mix of aromatics. And gin is like, it's super fascinating because the nose is so weird. And then the flavor of the gin is like, wait, what happened to all those flavors on the nose? It kind of mutes itself out and disappears. And you're like, how in the world is that possible? But we wanted to check out the gin and tonic. I don't think I've actually ever had one. We figured it was time to do it. And we got the double pour of the Hendrick's gin, which is one of the big names in gin. This is a much more floral kind of feeling gin than some of the other ones that are out there. They've certainly, people put together different aromatics, different flavors. And when you take this nose, Fingers Malloy, we've got this in a rocks glass as opposed to a Glencairn glass when we do a bourbon or a rye. We got a wedge of lime on here, which I'm going to put down. I'm going to put that to the side. Smell that, Fingers. Smell it, Fingers. Put your nose in it, Fingers. I'm sorry,
Okay.
That smells great.
All right. Now, it's not what I was expecting. It's been a while since I've had gin in my glass. I've never had Hendrick's gin. It's like cucumber and citrus.
Right? The cucumber's a weird one because it is such an unexpected flavor, and very often people forget the fact that cucumber in and of itself is crazy aromatic. And that flavor is also extremely distinct. It's fresh, it's upbeat. I love cucumbers, except when people serve cucumber water. I think those people should go to prison.
That's a thing?
Oh, you got to go to the higher end places.
Oh, okay. I got to tell you, in all the times I've gone to Chili's, no one's ever given me cucumber water.
You You're not going at the right time of day. But cucumber is a wonderful, wonderful fragrance, and it does in this gin totally hit. But you're not overwhelmed by the juniper, are you?
No, and we got a double pour, like you said, but also this was a double pour on the rocks, and it's been sitting for a little bit. So.
Right. So the water, ice, it will bring down proof. It'll kind of it can make mute some flavors, I should say, build some other ones up. I have seen Hendricks at anywhere between 41 and 47% alcohol by volume.
Okay.
Which would make it less than 100 proof, but still give it a little bit of a kick.
Yeah, so I have to ask you, are we going to sip this by itself before we add the tonic, or are we just putting the tonic right in?
We are absolutely going to sip this by itself.
Okay.
And then do the tonic. Now, normally we would do it neat, but they put it on the rocks because they prepared it for us as a gin and tonic, so we're going to do it this way as well. Fingers Malloy, are you ready for this?
No.
Oh, my God. That's the first time he has ever answered it like that. He's taking a sip of the Hendrick's gin right there. Of course, people know Bombay, and I know a host of gins. It is an acquired taste. It is not for everybody,
And I have not acquired it yet.
Oh my God. Fingers.
Okay. That citrus is still there. The cucumber's still there. Unlike you, I am not a cucumber fan because you don't normally see a cucumber deep fried and breaded. Having said
it's
that,
cousin the pickle.
oh, that's a whole different thing. It's not really, but okay, that citrus is there, the cucumber, and then there's that juniper, and yeah, it's there. It's on the palate. Of course, it dries you out. Yeah. Listen, God bless people that like this. I don't hate it. But in the grand scheme of things, if I'm reaching for an adult beverage, gin would be at the bottom of the list.
All right, I'm taking my sip of the Hendrick's gin. You are an uncultured heathen.
How dare you? I just told you I dine at Chili's. It's going in, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing the Saginaw Swish.
Oddly more flavorful than I thought. There is that definite citrus zest in there. There's a little bit almost like a rose water that's going on. Right. That's a hit. That is a hit. That is actually it certainly no heat center chest, no heat going down, no burn. But there is a bitterness that remains on the tongue.
Yeah.
For sure. And a bitterness that has a little bit of heat. I don't know if you want bitter heat, which was oddly enough the first name of canned heat. Before they said, you know what, we can do better.
See, I was going to say I saw Bitter Eat open for slaughter in 88.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you. Now we need to add the tonic. So what in the world is tonic? It's carbonated water, but it's not club soda. It has quinine. That's what tonic water is. The quinine is dissolved in it. It has its own bitter flavor. You ready? You ready for
I will point out we're having Navy Hill tonic, and it's packed with electrolytes, according to the bottle.
That's what plants crave.
Are we going in with
no?
You're
not gonna drink tonic straight.
No. Are we putting the lime back in the drink?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm gonna do it without the lime. Just mix it up in there.
Okay.
And then I'll take the. Oh, you're taking the sip first. Look at you.
Oh, that's much better.
Oh, fingers.
I don't know how people do it. I don't. The tonic added the flavor you would expect with tonic water, and then it brought out more of the juniper.
All right. This is great. This is great. I'm going in. I'm doing it.
He's going in, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, that's much better. That is much better. And it to the extent that it brought up the juniper, it actually brought up a little more of the citrus. It is bitter on the finish, and I think the lime wouldn't hurt.
How's this going to couple with the pair with the cigar?
The cigar's going to blow up in our mouths. Our tongues are going to catch fire. Oh, don't get me wrong. That's an acquired taste. That is way stronger with the tonic.
Here's what I fear.
But that is not a bad sip, son.
I took a second sip, and you talk about acquired taste. It's like Guinness, where I could see where people would put it down at first, and I don't want any part of this. But if you keep drinking it, you're like, it ain't half bad.
Acquired is the way it is. Now, does it pair with a cigar? We're going to find that out in mere moments. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Eat, Drink, Smoke. It is your cigar bourbon foodie extravaganza. I'm Tony Katz. That is Fingers Malloy. Let's go bourbon. Let's go barbecue. Those are our 2 books for now, and they're available at Amazon.com. Let's go barbecue. Recipes, tips, and tales from the pit. And Let's Go Bourbon. It's the bourbon reader you've always needed. Find them both at Amazon.com. The perfect St. Patrick's Day gifts. I think that's the next holiday coming up.
Yes.
Or Arbor Day.
I mean, I bought a dozen copies for President's Day.
You are a good man. I only bought them for Lincoln's birthday and Washington's birthday. I don't celebrate all the presidents.
Oh, I don't. Just Millard Fillmore.
You are a great American. We are smoking from La Flor Dominicana. We are smoking the 654, which is a 6x54, the double Ligero with an Ecuadorian Habano Maduro. And I didn't lie, Fingers. I'm not even in the second third of the cigar. I'm just getting there. And the spice has picked up quite a bit.
Yes, it has. The spice has picked up. And unfortunately, the spice is picked up, and so has the juniper.
Oh, because we're drinking gin and tonics?
Yes.
We got some Hendrick's gin. We're like, let's give it a go. Gin and tonic. I threw some lime in mine.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so the gin and tonic is a real acquired taste. Are you all right, Fingers?
I'm looking for a dog around here that I could slip this to under the table.
It's you don't like gin.
No.
You're just not a gin guy.
No,
I'm telling you, it's an interesting drink. The gin, the Hendrick's, that cucumber, a little bit of rose water. We added the tonic, which kind of bolstered some of that and really brought out that citrus zest in the gin.
I put the lime in, and it brought out a little bit more of the citrus, and that juniper is starting to grow on.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Starting to grow on me.
I must be a problem with the headphones. Oh wait, I don't wear headphones. You want to say that one more time?
It's starting to grow on me.
Is that right?
I'll tell you what, though. I don't know if I would ever pair this with a cigar again, though.
Now, I will admit, it is not a bad pairing with this right here. It is not a bad pairing with the cigar that we're smoking, because this cigar is so big that the citrus in the gin and tonic is a nice little play. It's a nice little play. It isn't where I would naturally go. It isn't a natural connection for me.
Here's my problem with it is all I'm getting off of this cigar now is the spice. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I like spice. I like pepper in my cigar. But I feel like there's more that this stick has to offer. And unfortunately, I feel like for me, in my palate, the gin is kind of muting that.
Yeah, I think some of the other flavors that you get in here, there is a little subtle sweetness underneath. I was looking at how some other people looked at this, and the guys over at the cigarauthority.com, they referred to the idea of a subtle molasses. I thought that was a nice way to put it, because there is a touch of sweet undertow that's here. But as we discussed with La Flor Dominicana, they make big sticks, kitten. They make big, full cigars.
Yeah, they do. And I, unfortunately, just am not getting any molasses on this stick at all because of this pairing.
Because of the pairing.
Yeah. That's okay.
We try things, people.
Absolutely.
That's the point. It's time, Fingers Malloy, for News of the Week.
Well, Tony, as you know, I am America's happy hour anchor man. Newsrooms around the country, as they are shrinking, they say that Fingers Malloy is Johnny Good News, because I bring all the good news to Eat, Drink, Smoke Nation.
Right.
Having said that,
all the good news.
Having said
never
that,
brought an ounce of bad news ever.
Never. Unfortunately, I have to be a Debbie Downer here.
What?
Red Lobster has announced they are going to stop offering all-you-can-eat menu items. Specifically, the brand announced that in June, their ultimate endless shrimp offering would become
what? Become what? This is very important. I was trying to plan my kid's graduation party, and if you tell me there's no more endless shrimp, I'm going to actually have to get to a caterer.
They aren't going to eliminate it. I just found another story that says they're going to keep it. They lost money on it in 2023. They are going to offer it now, but they're going to increase the price.
Oh.
From $20 to $25.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, now I don't know what to think. But honestly, are we surprised anymore at price increases at restaurants?
No.
This is just the way it is. Wall Street Journal had reported that you are paying more for food for the first time at this level since 1991. The George H.W. Bush administration, you are spending 11.4% of your pay on food, whether it's grocery, restaurant, etc. Today, 11.3%.
Wow.
It is insane. The money, the everyday things, and yet somehow this was a kicker. Janet Yellen is the Treasury Secretary of the United States, and she's being questioned by a senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy. Not that Kennedy, John Kennedy from Louisiana. And he's talking about how this is higher, that is higher, bacon's higher, everything is higher. And she said, what does it matter? Because wages are going up. Now, Fingers, if you want a response from a politician that says, get off my lawn, it is, don't worry about prices going up because after all, wages are going up. Except that isn't true everywhere. And it isn't true for people on a fixed income. It's just not true. This level of disconnect is so remarkably insulting. Don't look at Americans and say, oh, you don't understand how good you have it, kitten. That is an ugly thing to do, to dismiss what people are really experiencing and yes, indeed suffering with.
Yeah, we talked about this with Guy Fieri last week as far as the challenges that the restaurant industry are currently going through between higher labor costs, but also, things that I didn't even think about that are also pushing the costs of dining in for customers higher. You talk about the price of rent.
Oh,
it's going through the roof. Insurance prices are going through the roof. And these are all hitting restaurateurs' bottom line. And of course, they're going to pass it on to the customer.
Which is standard economics, by the way. When you talk to people or you hear people discuss the idea that we need to increase corporate taxes, you'll hear this often. And sometimes it'll be said in this vernacular of corporations have to pay their fair share. You've heard that before. Anybody who has been in business, run a business, or has any life experience immediately says, the corporation won't pay the tax, I will. They'll just pass it along. They're never, ever, ever going to pay that tax. So why would you keep saying that this company, XYZ company, whatever it is, has to pay more? They don't pay it. We pay it. And it doesn't take politics. It just takes life experience to realize that.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime if you artificially, well, I shouldn't say artificially, when government steps in and mandates that restaurants have to spend more money, whether it's on wages or any other kind of way that they do business via, regulation, businesses aren't going to eat that cost.
Nope.
They're going to pass it on to the consumer.
Eventually, yes.
Or they're going to cut staff to be able to maintain a certain profit margin. It hurts business, it hurts the employees, and it hurts the customer.
And it hurts the economy. This This is the standard stuff, and everybody's shaking their head in agreement. It's because they've lived more than an hour, and they don't pretend that if they have feelings that somehow it's going to explain away basic economics.
I have never seen Tony Katz so tickled pink about us doing a story as one we're going to do right now. It's about a husband who left his wife behind in an airport. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Fingers Malloy. He's Tony Katz. Find everything Eat, Drink, Smoke Nation related on our website, eatdrinksmokeshow.com.
I'm so happy. If I could find this guy, I would buy him all the drinks.
Oh, wow. This is from our friends at yourtango.com. It's where I go to for all of my relationship stories. Tony, so this couple is traveling to see their daughter.
Oh,
yeah.
Where's the daughter?
The daughter is in a state far, far away.
Oh, look at that.
So rather than getting in their station wagon and driving across the country, they decide to get on an airplane. They're heading to the gate, and the husband apparently is very rigid, very scheduled, that type of guy. The wife is very carefree, devil may care type attitude, and she wanted a cup of coffee. They're 15 minutes from boarding. And the husband says, that's fine. There's a coffee place right here. And she said, no, I need Starbucks. I need Starbucks. And Starbucks, it's in the other terminal. She leaves the husband at the gate. The husband is waiting. They're boarding. They finally give the final announcement that boarding is ending. The husband says to the clerk at the gate, who scans your ticket, said, hey, my wife is on her way. She'll be here in a minute. And apparently this airport line employee said, we're leaving. You can either get on the plane or you can wait for your wife. He got on the plane. She's texting him saying, where are you? They're telling me that the plane has left the gate. You should have stayed here. Get off the plane. He took off and he went to see his daughter. Tony, your thoughts? Did he do the right thing?
There's a couple of things also that need to be known from this story. First, it's on Reddit, so it's possible this is nothing more than fan fiction.
I was trying to go along with the whole fantasy because it's a wonderful story. And would yourtango.com lie to us, Tony?
Secondly, as the story is told, there was a market next to the gate where she could have gotten coffee, but no, she wanted Starbucks, which was forever away.
Yeah.
This guy is my hero. And ladies, you know I love you. No one loves you more than Daddy in this conversation, Fingers Malloy. I am Daddy. No one loves you more than me. You ain't that special. You ain't that important. The plane leaves. Be ready to go. Wake up early. Get your coffee. Be ready to go. I wouldn't wait either. My job is not to absolutely cater to your craziness that is detrimental. Sometimes you have a spouse who's got quirks. I've got quirks. My wife deals with them. My wife has quirks. I deal with them. It's part of the deal. I wouldn't change my deal for anything in the world. I think it's a great deal. But if the plane takes off at 8 and at 7:55, you're like, I'm going to go walk 20 minutes to get coffee. Wait for me. Bye, Felicia. I'm gone. I'm going to go see my kid. As the story is, he hasn't seen his kid for 3 months. He was going to see his kid. He's right. She's wrong. And by the way, if the situation would be reversed, she would be right if she got on the plane and he'd be wrong for getting the Starbucks because, no sexism with me. I love this story so much. I love it. I only hope it's true.
15 years ago, I would say, oh, come on, that can't be true. But over the course of this show, the amount of crazy stories that we have reported on regarding behavior on airplanes, this is totally true. I totally believe that this happened. And you're absolutely right. Can we talk about, for a second, you're much more of a coffee guy than I am. I have no problem going to the local gas station,
Sure.
getting my entire breakfast and a steaming hot cup of Joe. You're not a big Starbucks guy.
No.
I'm not a big Starbucks. If it's Starbucks or nothing, sure, I'll grab a Starbucks coffee. But if there's a coffee stand right next to the gate, I'm getting myself a cup of coffee there. What is it about Starbucks that I can only get my coffee at Starbucks? I can get it nowhere else.
What it is what this whole story is about, which is about the total lack of respect some spouses have for their spouse. It's a total lack of respect to put your spouse in a position of, my wife is going to go 15 minutes. I don't know if she's going to get back. Do I get on the plane? Do I not? You have to measure her anger. How important? But now you want to see your kid. Why does she have so little respect for you and everybody else that she would do this? This is about respect. And part of it is the unbelievable ego of some people. Coffee isn't coffee unless it's a Starbucks. I'm allowed to have my Starbucks. It's a treat for me. I've earned it. I deserve it. Maybe if you spent less money on Starbucks, you could afford to fly private, and then you could get all the Starbucks you damn well wanted.
That's a leap. That's a little bit of a leap.
You're a leap.
Oh, well, speaking of flying, Tony.
She's a terrible person. He should divorce her immediately. By the way, she's the stepmom. He should divorce her immediately, and he should learn quickly that he has terrible taste in women and should just stop. Wow. You've met these guys. They've been married 3 times. They can't figure out how to marry the right woman. They're the problem. They haven't figured out that they're the problem. They keep trying this like somehow they'll find happiness. No, they won't, because they are the issue.
Remember, get all of your relationship advice at our website, eatdrinksmokeshow.com.
Tony at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. I will help you through anything, damn it.
Well, I don't know if you can help people through this latest bit of news out of Las Vegas, Tony.
Don't take me away from this story. I'm so happy for him that he finally stood up. I'm happy for him that maybe he's going to have a life without her. I am so happy that she learned that she's not that special. I hope she thinks about it every day and realizes he really left me at an airport. Maybe I'm not that pretty.
Okay, if we're going to stay on this story, here's a prediction. The same thing happens again in 6 months, and she will do the exact same thing.
Oh, agreed. She ain't in the learning business. Oh, I love this story. I'm going to print this and frame it. That's how great this story is. All right, what else do you got for this?
As you know, Tony, we are going to the Premium Cigar Association trade show in Las Vegas here in, my goodness, a month.
Yeah, I know.
I cannot believe we're almost to March of 2024 already. This is absolutely crazy. Well, according to ABC7 in Chicago, there is a report that bed bugs have been found at 4 popular hotels on the Las Vegas Strip.
We have discussed this story. Are you telling me there's more bed bugs?
More bed bugs. Health inspectors from the Southern Nevada Health District confirmed bed bug sightings at the Encore, the Venetian, the Mirage, and the Excalibur Hotel and Casino. So if you have been at those hotels recently and you feel a little itchy, it may be because of bed bugs.
Good God. So the plane that takes us is going to fall apart. The bed we sleep in is going to attack us.
But we can at least eat all-you-can-eat shrimp at Red Lobster. That's still available.
But you better win in Vegas, because otherwise you can't afford it. Johnny Good News, my ass. Can I just say that for the record? Holy cow.
At least we're not staying at one of those hotels.
We are not. But we will be smoking many a cigar. The Flor Dominicana, the double Ligero, Maduro. It's a big stick. Now, I'm still in the second third. It's only a 6-inch cigar. I'm smoking slow on this one. But for some people, this is going to be a flavor profile that they just love. That big power right there from that Ecuadorian Habano Maduro. And the Hendrick's gin, the gin and tonic. It is an acquired taste. I'm glad we did it. I think we're going to have to do some of the old-timey drinks, Fingers.
Harvey Wallbanger next.
It's all going to happen. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. This is Eat, Drink, Smoke.
Follow Eat, Drink, Smoke on social media, on Twitter at Go Eat, Drink, Smoke, on Facebook, facebook.com/Eat, Drink, Smoke, and Instagram at Eat, Drink, Smoke Podcast.